Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing the Bioactive Life Planted Terrarium that I've been promising you guys for. So I'm going to go over the supplies I've got. Also, I've got the terrarium on this little makeshift table that I made, just because the place where it's going to be going, my tripod doesn't reach, and obviously don't want the video to be really shaky, so I've decided to just make this up while we build the terrarium. I'm going to go through the whole process of it with you guys. So first of all, this is the terrarium that I've got. It's the 10-gallon Zoom Edge terrarium. Now, my Pac-Man frog was originally going to go in this, but sadly, if you guys watched my last video, she actually died. It's very annoying for me as well, because there's nothing I could have done to avoid her from dying, but I guess I've just got to move on now. I'm still going to make this terrarium. Not sure what's going to go in it yet. Possibly some Dendrobates dart frogs or bumblebee toads, but I'm going to let it grow and establish properly. This was from the Pac-Man frog kit that Zoom Egg does. Pretty much everything that you get in that kit is useless to me. I only wanted the tank, so looking back at it now, I could have just bought an Exoterra and all the other stuff as well. But I didn't think of it that way, but I'm still happy that I bought this terrarium and I can use the other stuff for my other animals. These are the 3 plants that I've got. If you watch my Bioactive Herbs unboxing, you would have seen these. Here we have a pothos. I'm not entirely sure what exact species it is, but it's a pothos. And then we've got our pink vein Vitonia. I believe this is also called a red nerve plant. And then at the back here we've got a Ficus Plumelia White Sunny, I think it is. Very nice plant. And this one will actually climb up the back of things and will intertwine within bits of cork bark and wood and stuff. The Vitonia is just to add a bit of colour to the terrarium. But I'm going to show you the supplies right now. So the first thing I've got is this. This is drainage mesh from Bioactive Herbs. It's actually just weed guard. Basically, this is going to allow water to go down to the drainage layer, but it's going to separate the drainage layer from the actual substrate itself. So the next thing is this. This is the moss and lichen mix. I did actually find out that in America and Canada they actually pronounce it lichen. This is actually mainly for a background mix that it's going to be for another build, but I decided that I'm going to incorporate a few bits of this in with the substrate just to make it a bit more exciting. This has got lots of different moss and lichen in it, all sorts of stuff, and I'll show you that later on when we do the substrate. So the next thing we've got is oak leaf litter. This is 10-litre bag. I've already used quite a bit of this, but pretty much with every bioactive sort of live planted build you're going to use leaf litter. They break down over time and provide nutrients for the plants and the cleanup crew, the custodians, and they also provide hiding places for certain species of animal, which would mainly be dart frogs. So the next thing we've got is this large piece of carpet moss. This is going to cover up most of the substrate, and then the leaf litter will go on top. This is quite a large piece. I believe it's 10 inches by 14 inches. And it will cover up at least 2/3 of the terrarium. If you can see, it covers up quite a large portion, and that's the carpet moss. So the next and most important thing in my eyes is the drainage layer. Here I have a bag of hydro rocks or hydro leca, just expanded clay pebbles. It's a 9-litre bag, and this will definitely be able to do a decent thick layer of drainage in this terrarium. And the last thing is this bag of Bioactive Herbs Tropomix. I'm not entirely sure what's in this. I know there is some orchid bark, different soils, and possibly some moss, but I don't know what else is in this. But also I'm incorporating some of that moss and lichen into this, and that should make it more airy and a better substrate. I also have some different bits of cork bark and whatnot, and I've also got some springtails to add later on that I've cultured myself. And also the cork bark has been kept in a different terrarium that has been seeded with isopods in the past, so there is an isopod sort of culture in there. and they like to hide in the cork bark, so some of them will be in the cork bark, which will be added to this terrarium. So I'll have both springtails and isopods in here for the cleanup crew. So now we're going to start off with the drainage layer. So just to start off, I have already cleaned this terrarium out with disinfectant and water. I've made sure there's no disinfectant left over, as this will probably be for an amphibian, and obviously their skin's very sensitive, so I don't want them getting any chemicals on it because that would be very harmful. So I've already cleaned this out. So here is our drainage layer. These are hydro rocks, and I've also got the weed barrier that I went through. You have to wash these off just because they rub against each other and they create loads of dust, and you don't want that getting at the bottom of your tank, so you have to rinse all of these off, and I'll go do that now. And now we have the hydro balls. So surprisingly, I didn't actually need to use the whole bag up. I've still got about half the bag left, and there's a good around 2-inch layer in there. I just cut my drainage layer like mesh, and you want to make sure that this is always a bit bigger than your actual tank size, because otherwise the substrate will actually leak down into the drainage layer, and you definitely don't want that. We're now going to be making up the substrate. I have got the tropper mix here. Like I said again, I'm going to add some of this. I'm not sure which part I'm going to add. Probably a bit of lichen and some long fibre sphagnum. So I'm now going to add the substrate. I mixed together the moss and lichen and the Bioactive Herbs tropper mix, and now we're just going to add it all. So I'm aiming for around a 2-inch layer. I'm not entirely sure if I've got enough or if I've got too much, but we're just going to add it and spread it evenly. So I'm now just going to smooth it out a bit, and then we're going to start planting. So we're now going to start planting. The first one I'm going to start off with is the pothos. It's quite a big plant, so I'm going to bury it in quite deep. Because originally this was going to be my Pac-Man's tank, I was going to keep them potted as they may have got torn up. But because I'm using this for something else, I am actually going to take them out of the pot. Get rid of most of the earth and then plant them, as they are quite root bound. So I went ahead and added in some cork bark here and a little bit here as well, and all the moss is in as well. I'm now going to add in a water bowl. This is what came with the Pac-Man Frog kit. I'm not going to use the actual food dish, just the water dish. So we're now going to add in the custodians. There's already some ice pods in there that was on the cork bark and possibly some springtails. I've also got springtails in here as well, if you can see them. So you can see all those springtails running about. That is actually a bit of a carrot that I experimented to see if they'd eat it. They haven't really eaten it that much. And if you look up here, you can actually see that is an isopod. I don't know how it got in here, but it got in here somehow. So we're now going to add this in. So I just lifted up some carpet moss and put it under there. And the last thing we're going to add now is some leaf litter. So here is the Bioactive Herbs Oak Leaf Litter. And we're going to add a decent amount of this. So the very last thing we can do is give the terrarium a nice healthy misting. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A lot of time, effort and money went into making this build, and I also put a lot of time and effort into editing this video. There was a lot of footage to go through and edit. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, leave a like down below, comment what you think of this build and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.